Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today. Solo play versus online play in Fallout 76. It's a question I've received quite a bit since the coverage of this title has started for me, so I want to dedicate a whole video to it for you guys. For some additional information, I played 3 hours of this game. Half of that demo was in a team online play, and half of it was going off into the wasteland by myself. Now, Bethesda allowed us the option of instantly going off alone from the very get-go, but I want to test out both sides of the fence and get a feeling for each play style. Let me start off with this. The game is clearly geared towards online play. I mean, it's all built around that, and it starts off with noticing the damage differences when you're in a team versus when you're playing by yourself. When I was on a team, enemies of a couple of higher levels were not an issue at all, and in fact, it was all I ran into in the wasteland, but they died relatively quickly. When I went deeper into the waste, off on my own, I'd be level 9, facing a level 22 ghoul, which was a piece of cake when I was in a group, but since I was on my own, he destroyed me. So there's a rubber banding system in a way with this game like in previous BGS titles, but yet if you're together with at least one extra teammate, it's not an issue because you can usually take things out due to sheer numbers. Also, online play was a little more beneficial to you as a gamer because you leveled up quickly. Pretty much anytime someone got a kill or did something, you'd earn some of the experience, and as Bethesda clarified before this demo in a separate press release, if you were to do the final bit of damage on an enemy, you get a little bit of bonus XP. So there were times that I was just exploring areas and my friends were killing people and I just level up because I was a part of the group. So there is that benefit to being a part of a team. You level up a little bit faster, and as the game of course progresses, leveling up takes a little bit longer each time. So it does help to have teammates out there doing their own things and giving you a little bit from the XP pool. The one event I did participate in, which ended up being a horde mode, really was not something I could do on my own, especially early on in the game where all I had were bolt action weapons and the rate of fire simply wouldn't have worked against a horde of protectrons. They would have kicked the shit out of me. However, one thing I did note mentally was as I was playing the game in a group, that first hour and a half, I wasn't really gripped by Fallout 76, and maybe that's partially due to the fact that I was learning the game and trying to figure things out. But as soon as I went off on my own, I got quiet. I suddenly became gripped by the game, locked into a progression loop, wanting to go area to area, read everything, do everything, like a standard BGS game. And that was odd because as someone who's gone to a lot of these demo environments and these press events, I usually don't get looped into the game because I know it's a temporary amount of playtime and you know things are gonna get cut short. You don't want to get you don't want to become invested in your character, but I couldn't help myself. And part of that is, yes, I do enjoy my BGS games every now and then, but it was also because of the way the title was structured. Solo play was fun. I don't think that's a lie that Bethesda was telling. I just don't feel the game is fundamentally built around a solo player. So yes, you can go off on your own. I think leveling up will take longer though. You won't do as much damage, so you're gonna have to level up in areas and stay in regions longer rather than if you're in a group, you can go wherever you want at that point. Within reason, of course. Going to very, very high level areas, all of you guys will get destroyed. I watched a couple of people playing the game at, I think around level 9 or 8. They went to the Greenbrier and there were level 23 enemies and they got destroyed. It was hilarious to watch because all the cars were exploding and it was absolute chaos, but still, playing as a team allows you a little bit more leeway in the world. And I know a lot of us who play these open world games want to be able to go where we want, when we want. We don't want the content to stop just because the game says no. We want to decide when we go forward and when we go back to certain regions. So playing as a team allows a little more flexibility. But like I said, maybe it's because I'm a traditional Fallout player. Like many of you guys, I prefer it in the single player realm. So playing on my own, I really got wrapped up in it and I see myself spending a lot of time that way. It's just different because it can become lonely in a very unique sense. A lot of people talk about loneliness in the Fallout universe because of the way it has been structured, its bleakness, dark humor, everyone's pretty much dead. But this one's lonely because there's no NPCs to talk to. And then if you're playing by yourself, you don't have friends to talk to. So you find yourself completely alone in this world. It's a strange type of loneliness new to Fallout. And I don't know if it's a part of the game or just life itself. Traveling in a group also may be the best way to avoid people trying to harass you and destroy your experience. Not that Juicehead started ruining my play experience, but the one time I started going off on my own is when I engaged in PvP. Juicehead came up to me, he took a shot at me, I was like, well, I gotta defend myself now, partially because I wanted to try PvP out, but I just feel like there's a higher chance if a player sees one person alone versus a group, they're probably gonna bother the solo player, right? Now this isn't to say that the solo player is completely screwed, it's just I noted that both sides are fun for different reasons, but I feel the game is naturally more geared towards the online player. With most online games in this style, we'll say The Division, I did find myself mentally unplugging a little bit though as we went from area to area and I was chatting with my teammates and we were just having a good time. Maybe that's multiplayer gaming in general, but that was another thing I noted. So if you're looking for the full immersion route, getting really looped into the game, I'd say that take the solo route. But if you're looking for just some unplugging, kind of mindless fun, area to area, exploring where and when you want, the game is definitely more geared towards that play style, not being stopped too often by enemies that are out of your damage range. Online play might be the way to go. And I just wanted to give you guys, based off my time with the title, a little bit of inside information on how both these play styles worked. So if you have any more questions, do fire away in the comments down below. I'd love to try my best to get back to you guys and give you as much information as possible on this topic. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description down below, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting that as it fuels all the content we create here. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.